Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about China's Cultural Revolution. A lot of my learnings come from the Sons of the Revolution book that we read. But basically, the main character, Liang Heng, plays a crucial role in this, and you really get to see it from his eyes, the Cultural Revolution. One of the big influencers that I think that he has on his life is his oldest sister. She's a Red Guard. She participates and is such a influential person to him throughout the book, especially for just showing her love for the revolution and all that she does to participate. So I mentioned the Red Guard, and what that is basically it was these students that formed these, I don't want to call them gangs, but formed these groups, and they were in charge of going around and ensuring that anything that you had in your house was supporting the revolution. So in other words, you didn't have any old books or any old artwork or poems or anything like that that could tie you back to the way things used to be. Even the book even goes on to describe how these Red Guards would tear down temples and just, things that you can't get back that have such a, weight for the historical value of it, just for futures that, cultures and people in today's society will never be able to see what they truly looked like and what they truly were, other than maybe pictures. But they were tore down and vandalized and all sorts of stuff during this period. But Liang Heng, the main character, actually gets to participate in the revolution. One of the first and biggest things that we see him do is when he is 12 years old, he joins the New Long March. And basically what that is, it's basically these students go out. He's actually one of the youngest, if not the youngest, out of his group that goes out, and they go to all the sites that they did in the first Long March, that the soldiers did. They camp out like the soldiers did, and they go from town to town or place to place, just seeing and honoring basically the soldiers that did this when they were going through their liberation period and fighting for that. They stopped in the towns, and the towns would feed them or give them shelter, or anything like that they would need. Another big part of the Cultural Revolution is criticisms. The book often mentions that the children and adults had to do self-criticisms. So if they saw anything basically that they could critique themselves on, that's what they would do. And so we see that in the book. We see these criticisms, and then we see public criticisms. So any, basically, what they call them counter-revolutionists in the book, anybody who is even thought to be a counter-revolutionist is publicly criticized, publicly humiliated, beaten. They're tied up together with ropes, and then like in a line full of all of the counter-revolutionists, as the book claims them to be, with signs hanging on down from them, with these huge signs just blaspheming them and writing horrible things about them on these signs, and they're publicly humiliated, and basically their status is gone from there on out. As the book talks about Liang Heng's mother's status, basically she did one thing wrong, even though she wasn't truly meaning it to be anything counter-revolutionary. That's what it was taken as, and from then on her life was a wreck. That's how any of these people that were affected by this cultural revolution, anybody who wasn't a high-ranking official or came from, who wasn't a cadre or came from anything that was high-ranking, a military family or anything like that, even them were, the leaders were also really put under a magnifying glass to make sure that they were doing everything to support the Cultural Revolution. But all of the readings and the slides, the propaganda pictures, and all of that just really go to show, the depth and the capacity that this had, and the book, truly, you should truly read it if you haven't had a chance, because you get to see it from the writer Liang Heng's perspective. I definitely recommend it and learned a lot regarding the Cultural Revolution.